Here, it's your instructor, Amar Singh Kessi, a TESOL certified instructor, and I have been teaching ESL courses for the last 30 years to now. And Sneha?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm good, sir.
Okay, do you have any questions related to speaking section of International English Language Testing System?
Yes, sir. I have many questions. I want to know about tips and tricks for IELTS speaking test for Band 9.
Okay, for getting Band 9,
Yes.
I want to go to that shortcut way. Okay, now.
Yes.
So to get, if any candidate wants to get Band 9 in IELTS speaking test, first and foremost, the candidate should change the mindset.
Okay, change
First,
the mindset.
the candidate should change the mindset. It means that
Yes, sir.
if you do what you have done, you will get what you have got. If you want to get something different, you have to do something different, isn't it? So first and foremost is the candidates have to change their mindset. Do you know what mindset?
I don't know, sir. Can you please elaborate?
Okay, the mindset is the mindset of, learning sounds of English.
Sounds
of English, yeah. Actually, we have been taught as per letter patterns, A to Z, 26 alphabets in English. And that mindset has to be switched now. Okay? So like, for example, in a word, I want to give, clarify why to change mindsets. To one example word. For example, in a word, repetition. See here, how many letters are there? R-E-P-E-T-I-T-I-O-N, repetition. We have been taught like this through the letter patterns, isn't it? If we are taught, or if we learn through sound patterns, 44 sound patterns, not through the 26 English letters, but through 44 sound patterns, how we begin to practice is like this. Repetition. Okay? The pronunciation of this word is what? Repetition. Repetition. Can you try out? Repetition. The pronunciation of that word is what? Repetition. Repetition. That is what? Repetition. So how many syllables are there? See, one here. Rap, one syllable. Repetition. 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 How many syllables?
4 syllables.
4 syllables. Okay? So how to pronounce this word?
Repetition.
Repetition. How to pronounce?
Repetition.
Repetition. Can you try?
Repetition.
Repetition. Repetition. How to pronounce this word?
Repetition.
Repetition. Repetition. Now listen here.
Repetition. 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 Repetition.
Repetition. If the candidates learn through the sound patterns, not through letter patterns, that will be the right beginning of learning English.
Okay.
So how to improve English?
Mindset.
They have to change their mindset. What mindset? The way they have been learning is not the right way. So what is the right way? The right way is we have to try to learn through the sound patterns. Okay? So, repetition. Repetition. Okay?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So, if candidates learn through the sound patterns, then only their English becomes like natural, like of native speaker. That's the demand for Band 9 of the speaking section. Okay? Yes. Now, so do you want to know 4 different assessment criteria for a speaking test?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the first criteria is fluency and coherence. Okay? The first criteria is what? Fluency and coherence. If the candidate is fluent with rare repetition or self-correction. I said, if the candidate speaks English from part 1 of the speaking test to part 2 and to part 3 of the speaking test without any repetition. Rare repetition only, rare repetition or self-correction, then the candidate is assigned band 9 in the speaking test. Okay? So the candidate, if the candidate is fluent with only very rare repetition or self-correction, then the candidate is assigned band 9 as per fluency and coherence. Okay? And any hesitation that occurs is used only to prepare the content of the next utterance, not to find word or grammar. And speech is situationally appropriate and cohesive features are fully acceptable. What does it mean? It means that, let me clarify in Nepali. माथि चाहिँ सुट पिस लगाएको छ तर तल चाहिँ चप्पल लगायो भने म्याच भयो त भएन. सुट पिसमा के चाहियो? पार्टी सुज लाउनु पर्यो. हैन? त्यो भनेको के हो भने speech is situationally appropriate and cohesive features are fully acceptable. That means. Okay? Next is topic development is fully coherent and appropriately extended. So these are the 4 different assessment criteria within fluency and resources. Fluency and coherence. Okay? 4 different assessment criteria. And next to that is lexical resource. Total flexibility and precise use in all contexts, sustained use of accurate and idiomatic language. So if the candidate uses flexible uses of vocabularies, lexical resources, and if the candidate also uses accurate and idiomatic language, then gets band 9 as per the criteria lexical resources. Now, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And the next criteria is, grammatical range and accuracy. If the structures are precise and accurate at all times apart from the mistakes, characteristics of native speaker's speech, it means that if the candidate demonstrates confidence and clarity in terms of grammatical structures, correctness in grammatical structures, then candidate is assigned band 9 as per the criteria, grammatical range and accuracy. It means that if the candidate mixes varieties of grammatical structures, beginning from simple sentence structure to compound and complex sentence structures, then the candidate is assigned band 9 in the speaking test of IELTS. Okay? And the last but not the least is pronunciation. And within pronunciation, if the candidate uses full range of phonological features in the presentation, then the candidate is assigned, awarded band 9 in the speaking test as per this criteria pronunciation. Okay? And if the candidate is also familiar with connected speech in his presentation, that will be far better. Okay? And these are the 4 different assessment criteria for speaking test. As I said, within lexical resources, fluent with rare repetition or self-correction. Any hesitation that occurs is used only to prepare the content of the next utterance, not to find word or grammar. Speech is situationally appropriate and cohesive features are fully acceptable. And topic development is fully coherent and appropriately extended. These are the criteria for within fluency and coherence criteria. And if the structures are precise and accurate at all times, apart from these mistakes, characteristics of native speakers' speech, they get band 9 as per the criteria, grammatical range and accuracy. Now, if the candidate uses all of these criteria in the speaking test, what happens is that the candidate becomes capable of producing rhythm of English. And this is the demand for band 9 of the speaking test. Rhythm, yeah, rhythm of English.
Can you please give me some examples for it?
Okay, rhythm of English means that if the candidate, integrates all phonological features in the presentation, beginning from, how to pronounce each individual sound within a word, as I pronounced, repetition, isn't it? As I demonstrated by pronouncing each individual sounds within a word, within a sample word, repetition. As I said, once more I want to repeat it. Repetition. So how to get band 9 as per the criteria pronunciation is that first and foremost, the candidate has to demonstrate confidence and clarity in how to pronounce each individual sounds within a word. It begins from sound. Next to that, the candidate has to demonstrate a stress pattern where the stress falls within a word, like repetition. There is a stress. Repetition. The stress syllable is higher, louder, and longer. Isn't it? As I said, repetition. Isn't it? Repetition. How many sounds are there? 4 sounds. Rap, 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 or rap, 1 syllable, or next syllable, T, 3rd syllable, sun, 4th syllable. Rap or T, sun. Okay, so there is a stress. So the candidate has to demonstrate confidence and clarity within a word by pronouncing each individual sounds clearly. Okay? And next to that is stress pattern. Repetition, stress. And next to that, sentence stress. As I said, fluent with rare repetition or self-correction, sentence stress. If the candidate is fluent with rare repetition or self-correction, is awarded band 9. So this is sentence stress. And intonation pattern. This is a statement and falling intonation pattern. Okay?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Fluent with rare repetition or self-correction. This is in falling intonation pattern. Next to that, connected speech. This is very important in our speaking test. And the last but not least is the rhythm of English.
Okay,
With a combination of,
we have to match into rhythm.
yes. There must be coordination among all, packs. I want to say 6 packs of English. Okay? Beginning from sounds of English, stress, word stress, sentence stress, intonation pattern, connected speech, and finally the right pauses and chunking that produces the rhythm of English. Okay? So, what are the 6 packs of English? Individual sounds, pronouncing individual sounds within a word correctly, with confidence and clarity. Out of 6 packs, the second one, by demonstrating proper stress pattern within a word, candidate is assigned band 9. Next to that, sentence stress. Third one is sentence stress.
Yes, sir.
Important words has to be stressed. Sentence stress. And next to that, intonation pattern, connected speech, right pause, that's called pitch of English, chunking of English. And with the combination of all these 6 packs of English, candidate produces rhythm. That is melody of English. Rhythm of English. And For example, this is the rhythm of English.
Please listen to the expression and
You can
repeat.
listen here. So big circles are stressed and small circles are distressed. Okay? So we have to demonstrate stress and distressed pattern while speaking. If we can demonstrate all these 6 parts of English, and if we can produce a rhythm like this, we can get band 9 in speaking test of IELTS exam. Now, see.
He probably doesn't even remember what you said.
So this is the rhythm of English. If we don't change our mindset, we speak like this. He probably does not even remember what you said. Same thing. But if we change our mindset, now we speak in that way. If we don't change our mindset, our English becomes like this. We speak as according to the letter patterns. He probably does not even remember what you said. But if we change our mindset, we practice through the sound patterns and our speech becomes like this. He probably doesn't remember what you said.
Listen again and try to imitate her in a loud voice. He probably doesn't even remember what you said.
Yes, this is the rhythm of English. Okay?
Okay.
Do you understand? So, to get band 9 or to develop our English into the rhythm of English, to produce melody in our expression, we need to practice constantly because overnight change is not possible.
Yes.
We have to practice, repeat it again and again, over and over again. It's like, do you have an experience of going to the physical fitness center?
No, sir.
Yes. You know, some candidates, some people, they go to the physical fitness center and they, lift the heavy,
Yeah.
I mean, lift. And they work hard for 2-3 hours at a time with heavy weight lift. It's not the way. They have to change their mindset. It means what they have to change is that consistency matters. Imitation, repetition, and practice is the ultimate way to improve English. You have to go to the physical fitness center for an hour each day for 6 months. Consistent practice is only the secret of success. First, we have to change our mindset. As per your question, how to improve English speaking for IELTS Band 9? My answer was,
Consistent.
to summarize, change your mindset. Switch your mindset and start learning today. Start practicing through not letter patterns, through the sound patterns. And overnight change is not possible, as I said. It takes time. Practice, practice, practice until you get satisfied. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Your expression should be smooth. You have to try to speak in consistent tempo, in a steady pace, by maintaining the melody of English. How to maintain? By integrating 6 parts of English. Sound pattern, body stress, sentence stress, intonation pattern, connected speech, chunking or pitch.
And the next one.
And finally,
If you keep thinking negatively about exercise, you're never going to enjoy it. If you keep thinking negatively about exercise, you're never going to enjoy it. If you keep thinking negatively about exercise, you're never going to enjoy it.
so did you understand what he said?
No, sir.
Because we were taught through the letter patterns. If we were taught through sound patterns, we could understand. That's it. If you keep thinking about exercise, you're never going to enjoy it. If you keep thinking about exercise, you're never going to enjoy it. It means if we can change our mindset, learning English, practicing English from letter patterns to sound patterns, we can understand native speakers' speech. We can understand native English speakers' English songs. We can understand English movies. We can understand BBC News channels. We can understand native speakers speaking English. So let's change our mindset and let's begin learning through the sound patterns.
Yeah, okay, sir. I will try. I'll try, sir.
So that's all about my small tips and tricks for improving English for IELTS speaking test. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
We need to take a
and
look,
this is the
listen,
rhythm.
and repeat.
If you keep thinking negatively about exercise, you're never going to enjoy it.
Yes, that's called the rhythm of English. The big circles are stressed, small circles are distressed, and about exercise, about t is connected to a, exercise. That's connected speech. So you can say, if you keep thinking about exercise, you're never going to enjoy it. If you keep thinking about exercise, you're never going to enjoy it. If you keep thinking about exercise, you're never going to enjoy it. That's the melody of English, because 6 packs of English has been integrated there. So thank you so much for your question, and I hope you got my answer.
Yes, sir. I got.
So that's the end of the test. Tips and tricks.
Thank you, sir.